Very controversially, a dock is useless at the home base. Only a pier that's higher than the waves in a storm is of any use at the moment. And that is for fishing, which is no good right now. So, you should have it ready for the Mistlands because they're going to introduce a whole bunch of new fish, and fishing is going to be overhauled, and there's going to be some good recipes for that. But ever since Hearth and Home, they changed fish wraps from being the best stamina food, aka the best food in the game, from being a health food that's worse than serpent stew. And because of that, you don't really need the piers, you don't really need the docks. But wait, what about the docks? What do you mean you don't need the dock? You love having a dock. Look at this. Maypole Village right at the coast. This is perfect for bringing all of these metals home and having your ship ready. Oh wait, you don't need it ready. You can always just bring ship over to the shallows right here, where there's nice and reeds. There's shallows, and you can break it down. So you just have a cart ready, have your base nice and terraformed for roads for your carts, and then you bring all of your metals from your boat storage into the cart or carts, drag all of the goods over for processing or storage right here and here. I have it conveniently laid out. And then you can break down your boat. Nice and easy. And because you get all of your mats back, you can put your boat in a special chest for storage and bust out the boat anytime you want. Because of that, no mobs are really going to get to your boat. They're not going to get to your materials. Your materials aren't going to sink if they get to it. But what about the docks with walls? Yes, that is 2 walls layers of protection. However, if you have walls around your base, you're not really going to have walls around your dock. You're not really going to have walls around the area around your dock going into the water because you gotta sail away and back. We don't really have portcullis gates. Maybe if they bring them in the Mistlands, then I would recommend building a good old dock again, but we don't have access to that right now. So because of that, we're leaving enemies from raids open to coming through this area from the water's edge up into our village base, and that is no good. I've seen that happen time and time again on my multiplayer servers with friends. Raid enemies will just go around the walls, through the water, and into the main base, and that is a big problem, a problem that is completely unnecessary. You can just exit the walls of your base with ship material, go to the shallows, build your ship, break down the workbench, and be on your merry way. There is no reason for you to leave your base wide open for enemies in a raid, especially not dangerous raids like the Horde. Good lord, I couldn't imagine that. That is terrible. Luckily, I've never been raided by the Horde in about 1300 hours. How? No idea. Pure RNG. Been lucky. But I prepare regardless for the Horde, and I don't like having an area where all these fulling berserkers, fulling shamans that can absolutely put the pain on buildings. I don't want them having access to my base, to my buildings. That's no good. I mean, fulling shamans double damage to wood? Yikes. Fulling berserkers just cleaving through all my build pieces? No thank you. I mean, log trolls? Even way earlier in the game? Log trolls? No. Don't want that happening. So, is this to say that docks are bad entirely? No way. Docks are really good in areas where you would want to sail to be protected from the dangerous enemies there. So I'm talking mountains, then the Black Forest around it. Save yourself from all sorts of nasty creatures like log trolls, usually the Black Forest around that. So no log trolls. When you're sailing into that area, you know you're going to be sailing back and forth, bringing metal there perhaps to make a crafting outpost, bringing metal back. Of course, you want your silver and plenty of it. And, well, with those repeat trips, you might as well build a little dock and a harbor. Because you don't want to be ambushed with bad wind buy a log troll while you're sailing. No, 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 no. Or fulling mosquitoes, fulling berserkers, maybe raids. So in your more dangerous biomes as they go, I'm talking Black Forest, I'm talking swamp, mountains, well, the Black Forest around the mountains, and especially plains right now, but also it'll be the first thing that I build in the Mistlands too. You want that protection from enemies, and you certainly want the protection from being hunted. No, thank you. Being hunted, no good. You can just have that experience in the plains, and then, well, the wolves can aggro other creatures like locks, and they can absolutely destroy your ship if you're river sailing with bad wind, and that is no good. No good, especially if you're porting metal. All of that stuff sinks. Ooh, extremely painful. And you know you're going to take some big damage if you get stranded in the waters. Oh yeah, huge damage trying to terribly swim your way to shore. Awful time. Especially if your corpse is in the middle of the water. Don't recommend it. Build yourself a little harbor where it counts. Now, I don't like the fact that docks at the home base aren't very good. So what would I do? If I were somebody working on Iron Gate, what type of mechanic would I suggest? What would I like to incentivize docks at the home base? Well, I like the idea of some sort of energy core. So let's say you beat every boss. Well, I mean, you're going to beat every boss, but let's say every time you beat a boss, you get a specific core. It's just called an energy core, and you beat the first 3 bosses, they're just called energy cores. So you beat Eikthyr, you get an energy core, you build it in a dock area, and while you have a ship in there, just like gathering rested bonus, you can gather energy, and that energy starts at 1 minute, and it would be a 1 minute tail crosswind sailing buff. So it would be really convenient early river sailing to get that bronze early. Fast, convenient. Now, when you beat the Elder, you have another energy core, and you can't just farm these indefinitely. No. You beat Eikthyr, you beat the Elder, now you have a total of 2. These won't stack. So you would have to put this second energy core somewhere else. So now you'd be able to, let's say you have one in your home area, you're trying to sail and get a bunch of nice copper. Maybe you have a second energy core here, and you have your own little harbor or port right here. So you sail, you got good wind, then you collect, and you dock, you get that good wind again, you get that energy, and then you continue sailing around. Or you dock here, and then you go over to these swamps here. Now you beat Bone Mess, same thing. Now you have 3 minutes, and you think, oh, 3 minutes is not really that much. You know, even if you have a good route towards crypts, like I have here, well, it's not terribly much. And that's fine, because it still allows you to have danger, like if it's storming here with serpents. You still have that danger. You still have excitement where you can slow down and go mine a Leviathan for chitin. You still have all of this where you can take advantage of slower speed or be scared shitless by a serpent. You're not just autopiloting pure speed away from all of these creatures. No, 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 no. You are still interacting with all of the horrors and greatness of the ocean. Now, Mode Air changes everything. Of course, you got your 5 minutes of tailwind. That's very nice. That's really good. Still, in the grand scheme of large sailing trips, not that much. So with Mode Air, there would be a total of 9 minutes. So now you would have your energy core. You have 4 of them. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever islands or ports that you would have your energy cores in, and then you would have your 5 minutes of Mode Air Tailwind. That would add up to 9. But also, what I really like is that Moder and Yagluth, they have a lot of energy in them. Let's look at their attacks. Ice Energy Blast. Huge energy. Ice Energy Breath. Huge energy. Yagluth, all of his spells. Huge energy. So, with the energy cores that they would give, you would be able to use the artisan table and craft upgrades for your energy cores at all of these little ports and outposts. So, it would give a 1 minute upgrade to each one. So, it would be 2 minutes times 4 post Moder, plus your 5 minutes from the Moder power. And you would have 8 minutes sailing normally if you don't want to take Moder power. But if you have Moder power, then you'd have a total of 13 minutes, which is a much more reasonable sailing time for going to the plains and back. Now, killing Yagluth, considering how far out the Mistlands are, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you would upgrade it, so it would be 15 minutes, plus Moder, 20 minutes, which is much, much more reasonable for sailing all the way out to the Mistlands and back. Now, at this point, you're interacting with the ocean a lot less. You're sailing by serpents, no problem. But at this point, you are making 5 outposts. You are charting your territory, and you are dismantling old outposts, setting up new sailing areas. You are route setting. You are making everything nice and good and golden, and you have to build for it. You have to work for it. So, yes, it's less interactive with the oceanic creatures at that point, but you have to work for it. You have to put in the effort, dismantle old sailing routes, set up new sailing routes, and I think that would be a really cool way to get people interested in sailing and interested in the ocean, because Lord knows I was not very interested in sailing much at all until recently, finding extra spicy seeds with good sailing routes. I think that this would be great for people who don't want to look up seeds in advance to actually enjoy sailing. Now let me know what you think. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I've always thought the docks were good, and then I thought about it. Docks at the home base, not that good. Docks and outposts at more dangerous areas in the game, much better. We should make more of those. Yeah. But anyway, let me know what you think of my idea of the energy cores and making little harbors and like port towns in the middle of the ocean, and finding good sailing routes and building and deconstructing. And personally, I love it. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys some other time. Bye.